This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it's the After Party Live and we're rolling in late. There is no Albert today, and so they had to explain to me how to upload videos for the Mark Thompson Show for later. So a lot going on with the Mark Thompson Show today, and that is why it has been delayed. There has been a delay. I can speak English. Kind of, maybe. We'll see how the show goes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your messages, and I got a great series of pictures from Glenn yesterday of his kitchen remodel, which is really cool that he's able to do this by himself. I'm super impressed. Love when you guys reach out with pictures and emails. Kim at theafterparty.live is where to find me, so you can always do that. Thank you for everyone who contributes to this show. I have to tell you, I am floored. August 1st marked 3 years since this show began. 3 years of doing the After Party Live. That's 3 years of you keeping this show on the air. And this is huge. So I can't tell you. I'm going to say it every day. So it sounds like, it's just kind of something I say, but it isn't. It's truly so appreciated that you would care enough to keep the show afloat and to contribute like you do. So I just want to make sure everyone is aware that when you set up that monthly PayPal to roll in, whether it's $5 or $50 or whatever it is, you're the reason the show is still here. So thank you for that very much. Let's look at the most recent contributors to PayPal. By the way, all the PayPal information is in the show description every day. And that includes Mary Zane B. Thank you for the contribution. Barbara H, huge thank you. I'd like to see Barbara in After Hours Trading. Wes came in yesterday with a contribution. Vanessa P, huge thank you. Deborah S, thank you guys very much. That is the most recent contributions to the After Party Live PayPal. And of course, the super chats and super stickers are always open as well. I have a thing against whales, dolphins, larger whales, orcas, being kept in tanks for the amusement of people at places like SeaWorld. But I guess there are some that can't be set back into the wild. And if there are some that are stuck in a place that is closed or that has such a dismal safety record and health record that they need to transfer these animals, well, at least there's a place for them to go that's better. And it seems that is what has happened to 7 belugas that have made their way to San Antonio, Texas. There's an international relocation effort that is underway. And SeaWorld San Antonio has welcomed 7 beluga whales from this theme park in Canada that has shut down. The group of females that just arrived in Texas includes Xena, Gemini, Skyla, Mika, Eve, Neva, and Calypso. It's the biggest beluga whale transfer ever completed in the United States. And the SeaWorld San Antonio folks say they are so happy all went well and that the second transport of this huge rescue effort is complete. Right now, these 7 belugas are getting acclimated to their new home. They're in a private habitat away from public view. Their health and their behavior is being monitored. They're receiving vet care, nutrition, and attention. The trip required specialized water-filled transport units, rides on flatbed trucks, and a cargo plane. The logistics of this, super complicated. They said the 2 males are adjusting well that had already made the trip, and they're slowly being introduced to the existing whales at the park. Marineland in Canada shut down 2 years ago to the public, but the animals were still at the park. So while there were no visitors and the business was closed, there was still business going on behind the scenes. They lacked the resources, they said, to continue caring for the beluga whales in their possession. And about a year after closing, they said they'd have no choice but to euthanize these beluga whales. What? No. So they came up with this relocation plan and they had to get additional funding for that. There was a big political drama over whether they would get the funding to pay for the moving of the beluga whales. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration set up the relocation approvals in July. They wanted to make sure these whales received medical treatment. They said there are no other facilities in Canada that were able to provide the whales with whale husbandry or medical care. Right now, there are 17 whales that are stuck at Marineland. They're supposed to go to aquariums in Georgia and Chicago, San Diego, Spain. And while I'm really glad to see that places like SeaWorld and wherever are stepping up to help these beluga whales and take them in, I still disagree with the showing off of these animals to the public. I had a relative, and I refuse to have. We live very close to Discovery Kingdom, which used to be Marine World in Vallejo, and I had a family member ask, "Well, if you don't take your kids to SeaWorld, how are they going to learn about whales and dolphins?" You may have heard me say that before. And my answer is, we'll get on a boat in Hawaii or wherever, or in Monterey or San Francisco, and we'll go out to them if we need to see them so badly. Otherwise, we can watch videos and I think we're going to be okay. Why do the whales have to pay for the education of my kids with their freedom and their lives? I'm telling you, no. As a matter of fact, Jacob made his way to Discovery Kingdom for the first time because there was some kind of birthday party that someone else was paying for, but I won't give my money to places like that. Though, when I see that at least the belugas have somewhere to go, I do feel like that's at least good. But then, you know what they're going to do with the beluga whales? They'll introduce them to the public, and then all of a sudden you've got the beluga whales doing tricks. I think these creatures are so smart and so wonderful that we shouldn't treat them like they're there for our amusement. No, that's just my opinion. But nevertheless, 7 more beluga whales saved from that shuttered Canadian theme park. Noah Fidian and I are on the same page. Tammy says Winter would have died in the wild. Yeah, Winter that had the fake tail, right? That's true. Yeah. They're beautiful, says Mindy. They are. They have the best faces. Love it. I loved Marine World when I was in Redwood City. Never went after it relocated to Vallejo. Some are like care centers, like Clearwater Aquarium, where Winter lived, says Tammy. Yeah, I guess so. I just don't like it when they make them jump. And I think those, especially those orcas, they don't do well mentally in captivity. I don't think so. Glenn says, yeah, there's more than enough footage of them. Watch documentaries, see them in their environment. We don't need to keep them in captivity. I agree with you. But I guess better in San Antonio, Texas at SeaWorld than where they, would have been euthanized at a closed down Canadian theme park, right? Speaking of animals, look at these guys. They're silver bears, silver bear cubs. They were spotted on the Katmai bear cam in Alaska. It's actually a 6-month-old bear cub. These are 3 pictures of the same creature. Supposed to be a brown bear. That's its species. Spotted on the Katmai National Park bear live stream in Alaska, this cub with white silver fur was spotted just sitting in the grass, yawning, hanging out. They say it's one of the most unique looking cubs they have ever witnessed. The folks that run the cameras, they said, we've seen silver looking bear cubs in the past, and we attribute it to the bear's genetics. The bears in Katmai, they write, have very many different fur colors. The park does have a large population of blonde bears. There have been some questions surrounding whether this is a Pizzly bear, which is a mix of a polar and a grizzly. Pizzly? They say no, it's not a pizzly. Katmai is too far south for polar bears to roam there. There's no evidence, they say, that the Katmai bears travel that far north. So they think it's just a genetic mutation. They also say that the color does not come with any added danger because bears don't use their fur for camouflage the way other animals do. The park rangers say this bear is probably about 6 months old, so it's a spring cub. It was seen in the lower portion of Brooks River with its mom in June, spotted on the live cam. Apparently, she keeps to herself most of the time, the mom, and she was spotted fishing on the far side of the Brooks River in early July. They've named it 677, though they say that name is not official. They have moved away from assigning nicknames to bears in the Brooks River. They say park visitors used Bear X or Xena as a placeholder to identify and follow this bear until it was assigned an official bear monitoring number, the 677. Most of the time on this camera, you see the brown bears in Katmai. And they're feasting on salmon and they're bulking up for the winter ahead. And then they move to a different part of the river and they eat the dead and dying salmon near the river's mouth. What they do say is July and September are the busiest months on the bear cam. So now's a good time to look at it, the Katmai bear cam. The bears are most active during the daytime hours. They can eat upwards of 120 pounds of salmon a day, and pack on about a pound a day. So interesting, though. I have another animal story for you as well. This one is about kind of doing a double take at this two-headed gecko. It's named Simon and Garfunkel. It's a rare two-headed gecko. It's 1 month old. The left head, they say, is a bit more grumpy than the right head. Hard for it to move. The two-headed crested gecko is being raised by gecko breeders. They're called rockstar geckos. It hatched at the end of June, and it's being raised by the rockstar gecko people who say they've only seen this once before. The condition of having multiple heads is known as polycephaly, and usually it happens when twins start to separate in the womb, but the process doesn't get completed. In the wild, animals like this would not survive very long. It's difficult for them to move around and eat. And there's video of this gecko crawling around, and it's not like a normal lizard that's super fast. It kind of lumbers along. So it probably wouldn't be surviving very long in the wild, but in captivity, it's more than a month old now, and still they say doing pretty well. It's still early days, but progressing pretty well. Each head has its own behavior. They say the left head is more grumpy. The two heads seem to argue about which way they would like to go occasionally, but for the most part, it's not that big of an issue. It appears the right head is more dominant, but they say it's kind of hard to tell. The biggest challenge in caring for this gecko is probably assisting it with shedding. They don't always need help, but they're so small and fragile, according to the rockstar gecko people, that it takes them a long time to make sure they're free of any retained shed. So they're going to keep updating this. There's other species in nature that we've seen that have two heads. There was a bull shark that there was video of as well. Yeah. It's interesting to look at, and we'll see how long this creature makes it. Doesn't move very well. It's so interesting to look at. There is a new sculpture And it's kind of, I know we don't get political on the show, so this is absolutely not intended to be a political story. And then I'll get to some trivia. But this is a serpentine sculpture. There's a Ben Franklin uh, call for unity, the join or die. And they're putting up a sculpture of this in Philadelphia. They're doing it segment by segment. It's a 46-foot long granite work of art inspired by the political cartoon of the 18th century, and it's supposed to be unveiled on Independence Mall sometime this fall. So there's a rendering of what there's the photo of it. Yeah. Artist John Collins creating a large-scale three-dimensional version of Ben Franklin's 1754 join or die illustration. That's the illustration. It's expected to be unveiled as part of the National Park Service Independence National Historical Park sometime this fall. It's being installed on the ground of the mall's Liberty Bell Center block, not far from where a 900-pound time capsule was just buried in honor of the 250th anniversary of America. The nonprofit Independence Historical Trust says they had to raise almost $4 million for this project. They did it through funding from the state of Pennsylvania, the city of Philadelphia, private foundations, legacy groups, individual donors. They have $600,000 left that they need for installation. They think the sculpture will create a new civic destination in the heart of historic Philadelphia. So that's what they're looking for. Okay, so here's the illustration I have for you. You may remember this. And what's interesting is I don't see this as a current political statement, although I have seen this symbol on a flag next to Trump flags flying on people's homes. So that's the rendering. Here's the original illustration. So that's what they're trying to create, this 46-foot long piece of art. It'll be cool when it's done. There it'll lay on the National Mall just like that. Or not the National Mall, the Independence Mall. All right, it's time for Trivia Thursday. Yay! Woo! I'm going to the chat. Everybody in? Oh, before we get started with questions, huge thank you to Glenn, who's throwing in a couple. Didn't forget today, he says. You're an amazing carpenter. I'm so impressed by you, and thank you for the exotic Australian money. Really cool of you. Nullifidian throwing in 20. Thank you, Nullifidian. Good comments today, too, on the Mark Thompson Show. And Heather throwing in another 10 in honor of our anniversary. Oh, hot Heather, thank you. Really appreciate it. That's so nice. 3 years. Is that crazy? I love it. Although we probably, all of us have been together longer if you're a KGO listener. Because I was there for more than 20 years. But this little show that could, going strong, thanks to you. And thanks to Heather and Nullifidian and Glenn. You guys are awesome. All right, I'm going to the chat. And it's time for Trivia Thursday. Here it is. You guys ready? I'm ready to go. Our anniversary is the day before Mark and Courtney's. Ooh, good way to remember it. Actually, it's August 1st is the anniversary. Okay. I have this category today for old people. That's you and me, in case you didn't know. It's called We Didn't Have That When I Was Your Age. It's about inventions, old inventions. The first question is, introduced in 1953, what speedy Chevrolet was probably named after a class of small, fast, powerful warships? Introduced in 1953, what speedy Chevrolet was probably named after a class of small, fast, powerful warships? Let's see what you got. 1953, huh? You guys know it. It is the Corvette. And it looks like SJ Lola is the first one to grab it. Heather's got it too. So does Nola Fidian. So does Nancy. Gordon has it. Vanessa has it. Well done. That was the Corvette. Originally created as wallpaper cleaner in 1956, what substance was reintroduced as a creative red, white, or blue children's toy in 24-ounce cans? It was originally created as wallpaper cleaner in 1956. What substance was reintroduced as a creative red, white, or blue children's toy in 24-ounce cans? Mm-hmm. Both answers are good. I'm seeing them roll in. Silly putty, says Donna, which would have been yes, except for the answer is actually Play-Doh. Did you know it was invented to clean wallpaper? Yeah, Play-Doh is the answer. Oh, silly putty is a lot like Play-Doh. Nancy gets it. Well done, Nancy. Play-Doh, says Eileen. That's right. Playboy, says Rev. I know what you're trying to say there. It's interesting. What are you typing in that's where your spell check goes? I don't know about you, Rev P. I'm giving you a hard time. Sandy has Play-Doh. Heather has Play-Doh. Doug has Play-Doh. Well done. Tammy has Play-Doh. I know. Gordon has Play-Doh. So does Teacher Lori. What else do you have? The Gloomy Maine Coon says Play-Doh works to remove soot from inside the fireplace too. Does it? Interesting. I'll have to try that out. 24 ounces. Too big for Silly Putty. Yeah, Silly Putty came in that weird egg, right? Yeah. Okay, next question is first installed in 1969 outside a chemical bank in New York. What invention, primarily known by its initials, was found in more than 160,000 locations by 1997? This predates me as well. First installed in 1969 outside a chemical bank in New York, what invention, primarily known by its initials, was found in more than 160,000 locations by 1997? Oh, you guys got it. Yep. I probably didn't even need to read that one twice. I like to give you time, though, to answer. It looks like John Watson first to the punch with ATM, automated teller machine, right? John Watson has ATM. So does Tom. Hi, Tom. Heather has it. So does Vanessa. Eileen. Tammy is on it. Liz has ATM. So does Gordon, Sandy, Donna. Nancy has it. SJ Lola has it. I'm the same age as the ATM, says Vanessa. Noel Vidian has it. And don't call it an ATM machine, right? Because machine is already noted in the M, right? Teacher Lori has it too. Well done. I refused to use those for years. Isn't that funny? Next question. What type of television, introduced in 1954, cost $995, the same price tag as a car? What type of television, introduced in 1954, cost $995, the same price tag as a car? Yeah. And that was the color TV. What the sizzle first to the punch with a color TV. Chris has it. Maud has it. So does Donna, Heather, Tammy. Uncle Jim is on it. So is John Watson. Nancy has it. Tom has it. Doug has it. A little too early for the plasma, I think. Vanessa has it. So does Nullifidian, Eileen, Sandy, Glenn, Teacher Lori. Well done, everybody. Okay, next question. In 1951, 200 people paid $3 a year for the privilege of having what kind of paper in their wallet? Plastic came later. In 1951, 200 people paid $3 a year for the privilege of having what kind of paper in their wallet? They were first paper. I have Heather first on this one. The credit card. Yes, that's right. The plastic credit cards came later. First, they were paper. Heather has it. Well done. So does S.J. Lola. Well done. Nullifidian has it. Well, it is a credit card. I'll give it to you. What the Sizzle and John Watson. Eileen. That's a good answer. Checks were a good answer. It is the credit card. Let me make sure I'm right on that. Yeah, credit card. Phew. Thank you. Right? Yeah. You have me questioning myself. Credit card says Rev P. Uncle Jim has it. Charge card says Vanessa. That's right. And Nancy has it. Good job. Okay, next question. Here we go. What typist aid, it's a typist aid, did monkey Michael Nesmith's mother create in 1951 and then sell to the Gillette Corporation for $47.5 million in 1979? That's a nice little payday. Come on now. What typist aid did monkey Michael Nesmith's mother create in 1951 and sell to the Gillette Corporation for $47.5 million in 1979? You ever paint your nails with this stuff? The answer is technically liquid paper, but I will accept whiteout. Here it is. What the Sizzle, first to the punch with the whiteout. John Watson says whiteout. S.J. Lola says whiteout. So does Rev P and Sandy and Tammy. Vanessa says liquid paper. That's technically correct. Nancy has whiteout. Louise has it. Hi, Louise. Donna has it. Glenn has it. Gordon has it. Nullifidian. Do you think whiteout's obsolete now? I mean, technically we're typing everything, right? I did have to buy some about 6 months ago for a project. So I doubt that. I mean, it probably used to be like a staple, you know? You'd buy whiteout and tape and pens, and the whiteout you don't buy so much anymore. But it's still around. Liz says I still use it. Sandy says I knew this one because I dated a guy who was obsessed with Michael Nesmith. Haven't used whiteout for years, says John Watson, but Tom still uses it. I have some. Next question. What did Bill Richards, the owner of a California surf shop, sell in 1958 as a pastime for surfers when the surf was flat? What did Bill Richards, owner of a California surf shop, sell in 1958 as a pastime for surfers when the surf was flat? Looks like everybody has it. Rev P, first to the punch. Skate. Yeah, this is the skateboard. Absolutely. I would have said boogie board too, but it is the skateboard. Rev P had it. Sandy has it. Vanessa has it. Nancy has it. So does Donna. Good answer. It's a skateboard. Okay, next question. The Oldsmobile Toronado. The Oldsmobile Toronado was the first car to offer what safety feature in 1974? So, around that time, I was carried home from the hospital in a Buick Skylark convertible in Hawaii and placed in a little basket on the floorboard in the back. That I am even alive to talk to you is wild. Safety, what? The Oldsmobile Toronado was one of the first cars to offer, or was the first car to offer what safety feature in 1974? And this would be the. See what you got. Oh, good answers today, you guys. I love it. I would have said seatbelt. The answer is airbags. Uncle Jim has it. Is the first car to have airbags in 1974. Donna Holm has it too. Who else? Anybody? Safety glass. Ooh, that was a good answer in Olophidian. A lot of seatbelts. Yeah. You would have thought seatbelts came before the airbags, right? Oh. Yeah. They brought my brother home in a baby bathtub. Is it crazy? I mean, and we're still walking around. Go figure. In 1951, people started complaining about tripping over the cord of this device named the lazy bones, invented by Zenith in 1950. It was 1951 where people started complaining about the tripping over the cord of this device. They called it the lazy bones, invented by Zenith in 1950. Can you imagine? I guess like everything, it started out life with a cord. Better than getting off your rear end and changing the channel, right? Chris Holm has it first. He said remote control. That is correct. Gordon has remote too. Well done, Chris Holm. Well done, Gordon. Sandy has remote. So does Heather. So does Vanessa. SJ Lola has it. Donna Holm has it. Wired remote, says Uncle Jim. That's right. Rev P has it. So does Nancy. Teacher Lori has it. We even had cords. Isn't that crazy? Rev says, I remember when they had cords and then RF, the little red laser, right? Okay, last question. What popular pastime invented by Willie Higginbotham, what popular pastime invented by Willie Higginbotham in 1958 required relatively quick reflexes and an oscilloscope? 1958, relatively quick reflexes and an oscilloscope. 1958. Willie Higginbotham invented this popular pastime. You needed quick reflexes and an oscilloscope. I would not have gotten this. What do you have? Hula hoop. That would have been, I think that's a really good answer. It is not the correct answer, but Heather has the right answer. Video games. That's right. It was the first video game. Did you know that it was 1958? That's crazy. I think, Heather, you stand alone, friend. Well done. Anybody else have this? Oh, computer game. Uncle Jim says computer game. Yes. Made by Whammo. Pong. Okay. What is an oscilloscope? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Oscilloscope. And I'm sure right when I look it up, someone's going to tell me. Oscilloscope is a type of electronic test instrument that graphically displays varying voltages of one or more signals as a function of time. The main purpose is capturing information on electrical signals for debugging, analysis, or characterization, and displayed waveform can be analyzed for properties like amplitude, frequency, rise time, time interval, distortion, and more. Something that measures electronics, apparently. Yeah. Yeah, learn something new every day. John Watson did say Pong. Yes, I include John Watson and those that got it right. SJ Lola says it's used to test circuit designs. Yeah. Mod as one. What? Even what do you use your oscilloscope for? You played a game with that, says Rev P. You know what? Back in the day, they used what they had, right? Speaking of games, here's another section. This is all about childhood outdoor games. You guys ready? Here we go. Ghost in the Graveyard, Sardines, and Manhunt are all variations of what popular game? Ghost in the Graveyard, Sardines, and Manhunt are all variations of what popular game? Anybody know? Oops. Hold on, I'm on the wrong page. My bad. I'm sorry. I never played Ghost in the Graveyard. But you guys did, and you knew that the answer is hide and seek. Heather, first to the punch. Hide and seek is right. Chris has it as well. Uncle Jim has it. Sandy has it. Nolophidian. Vanessa has hide and seek. Eileen has it too. Donna has it. SJ Lola has it. Yeah. We called it hide and seek. I never heard it called sardines before. Next one. What colorful game requires 2 teams and has several lesser known nicknames, including forcing open the city gates, and bull rush? What colorful game requires 2 teams and has several lesser known nicknames, including forcing open the city gates and bull rush? What do you have? Looks like Donna has it. Red Rover. Red Rover, Red Rover. Send Donna right over. Red Rover is correct. Donna has it. Yay. So does Nancy. And Vanessa has it. Well done. Okay, next question. Soldiers of the Roman Empire were the first to participate in this jumping activity in full body armor to improve their stamina. Soldiers of the Roman Empire were the first to participate in this jumping activity in full body armor to improve their stamina. Jumping game. I got a lot of jump ropes. Jumping jacks, jump rope. High jump, jump rope. Oh, I might have stumped you guys. Leapfrog. That's a good answer. It isn't the one, but it's a good answer. Chris did it. Hopscotch. It was hopscotch. Well done, Chris. I give it to Chris and I give it to Tom. Hopscotch. Hopscotch in full armor. That's crazy. Okay. What water-based game shares its name with a 13th century Italian explorer? It's a water-based game that shares its name with a 13th century Italian explorer. Oh, you guys got to get this one. And you did. And you got it fast. Donna has it. Marco Polo. Marco Polo. You ever change your voice? Marco Polo. Donna has it. Sandy has it. Uncle Jim has it. So does John Watson and Nolophidian and Heather and Chris. Maud has it. So does Rev, Vanessa. You guys all got this one. Good job. Marco Polo indeed. Next one. I don't think I've ever played that with my kids. I might have to do that today. In Argentina, kids play Tiggy with a T. In France, it's Loop, L-O-U-P. In Bavaria, it's called Catch the Man. What is the American name? In Argentina, kids play Tiggy. In France, Loop. And in Bavaria, Catch the Man. What is the American name of this game? Yeah, it's tag. Catch the man. Marco Rubio. Thank you, Sandy. Winner, winner. Rev says tag. Rev is first and Rev is right. Louise says tag. Look at you. Heather has it too. So does Sandy, SJ, Uncle Jim, Nolophidian. Everyone knew it was tag. Nancy, Vanessa. Tag, you're it, says what the sizzle. Nice. Next one. Although most often considered an activity for elementary school children, this baseball-like game was played by Allied soldiers during World War II. Although most often considered an activity for elementary school children, this baseball-like game was played by the Allied soldiers during World War II. I'm seeing right answers. Chris Holmes says that would be kickball. And Chris Holm is right. Chris Holm is on fire with the game segment. Louise has it too. Well done. Donna has it. Kickball, says Sandy. That's right. Nancy has it. Well done. Next question. Here we go. Once a staple of PE class, what game has disappeared from many U.S. curriculums because school officials deem it too dangerous? It was once a staple of PE class, but what game has disappeared from many U.S. curriculums because school officials deem it too dangerous? Yeah. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Isn't that right? Dodgeball. Although sports ball, says Asian Guinea Beans. That's kind of all-encompassing, and I love the answer. But Uncle Jim says dodgeball. That's correct. Well done. Chris has it too. So does Donna. So does Sandy. Dodgeball says Tammy and Nolophidian. SJ Lola. Dodgeball says Eileen and Rev P. Nancy has it. So does Vanessa. Luis. Doug. Slaughterball. Dodgeball. Oh, I hated it too. Good old dodgeball. And Teacher Lori has it. And well done. Got to get our teacher in there. Armed with just $10 for the registration fee, anyone can head to Maine in February. Heather, you got to get this one. For the annual national championship of this game, whose only needed piece of equipment is a ball. Armed with just $10 for the registration fee, anyone can head to Maine in February for the annual national championship of this game, whose only needed piece of equipment is a ball. Ah, yes, the annual Foursquare competition. Sandy, yes, that is right. Foursquare. Heather, I'm so disappointed. Foursquare is the right answer. That was a tricky one. I haven't played Foursquare in a long time. You remember that? I remember that in school. That's Foursquare. I remember tetherball. I got smacked in the face with that tetherball more than once. Okay, next question. Well done. Well done, Sandy. Okay. In some countries, this game is called sneaking up on Granny. In the United States, it's more like directing traffic. In some countries, this game is called sneaking up on Granny, but in the US, it's more like directing traffic. I think I know this one. I love this game. Sneaking up on Granny. Traffic related in the United States. Sandy, back to it. Red light, green light. The whole point of it is like you get 3 or 4 of them right and you get so confident that all of a sudden they say red light and you fail. Yes, red light, green light is the answer. Sandy has it. So does Uncle Jim. So does Donna. Red light, green light, says Heather, and SJ Lola, and Nancy, and Luis. It is not the Squid Game. Well, that would have been an interesting childhood. Red light, green light, says Eileen. That's right. Yep. Gordon has it as well. Okay. This might be the last question of the day. This game was played as long ago as ancient Rome, and over the centuries, its playing pieces have been made of stone, metal, ceramic, and glass. This game was played as long ago as ancient Rome, and over the centuries, its playing pieces have been made of stone, metal, ceramic, and glass. Mm-hmm. And the answer is, some good ones. Think more rudimentary. I got a jacks. I got a chess. Backgammon, checkers, dice, jacks. Oh, Doug, you have it. The game is marbles. Yes. Good job. Doug has marbles. Anybody else? Vanessa. Doug and Vanessa. Marbles for the win. That is Trivia Thursday. You guys are awesome. I have time, I think, to sneak in another story. Shall we? Should I give you a vote? Do you want to talk about poop, the circus, or quicksand? Poop, the circus, or quicksand? I know. What a selection. How does one choose? What do you think? Poop, says Heather. She did say it first. Poop. Poop me up. Okay, I hear you. I got one for the circus and one for poop. I'm going for the excrement. Here we go. I didn't want to put a picture of a turd, so I have pictures of the things that live inside of our turds. You're welcome. I don't want to do that to you guys because I love you. I really do. This story is about how poop made life on Earth possible. We're alive because of poop. 540 million years ago, nutrient-filled feces helped spread complex organisms. And life would not be what we know it as today without copious amounts of poop. The Earth, they say, may never have hosted any life at all without experiencing a fecal revolution. That's a great band name, isn't it? Next to rising oxygen levels and other contributing factors, the importance of feces in ancient ecosystems is often overlooked. This, according to Russ Bicknell, who's an evolutionary ecologist in Australia at Flinders University. He spoke with Popular Science. He also worked with other researchers in a recently published study in the journal Trends in Ecology and Evolution, focusing on ancient fossilized fecal remnants. Of course, we know those are coprolites. It illustrates how and when animal life began to truly diversify on the planet. When the earliest and simplest organisms first arrived on Earth, about 600 million years ago, it took another 60 million years for life to start growing much more complex in a much more complex way. That era was known as the Cambrian explosion, saw the very first intricate ecosystems populated by early examples of many major animal groups appear in oceans. And according to researchers, we can see this growth and complex life inside the preserved poop that prehistoric animals left behind. So the researchers analyzed coprolite samples taken from more than 35 sites around the world. And they can see a clear shift in shape and size and composition as this era gave way to the Cambrian. The Ediacaran area gave way to the Cambrian, and it ranged from microscopic pellets to centimeter scale fossilized feces containing animal fragments and shells. Ficknell says with this shift, we see increasingly complex digestive systems, particularly in the early anthropods, which evolved specialized foreguts and digestive glands capable of processing a wider variety of food. And the more these organisms ate, the more they excreted. And that excrement was rich with nutrients and organic carbon. And when those materials return to the ecosystem, they help foster even more life, which continue to diversify in a kind of evolutionary feces feedback loop. Ew! And also cool. According to Bicknell and his study co-authors, the fossil record shows how evolving feeding systems coincided with more poop-derived organic materials needed for fostering an environment that could host all types of animals. So, if you look back at the origins of life on this planet, you could say it's full of poop. I think I might have time for one more. Can we do one more? Let's go to the circus. This is not maybe a very nice way to end, but the circus performer, this is why we can't have nice things. You think that they do these feats at the circus over and over and over again. And eventually somebody's got to make a mistake, right? And thus it went in New York, in the fine city of Middletown, New York, where a circus performer was accidentally shot in the neck by an arrow. Happened during a performance at a county fair in upstate New York on Friday night at the Orange County Fair in Middletown, northwest of New York City. Anna Daza Tavera, who's 42, and Edwin Cuervo Rangel, who's 38. They're a married couple from Wisconsin. They'd been performing their crossbow sharpshooting act when she accidentally struck him in the neck with an arrow as he held up a foam target. Oopsies. I mean, listen, she probably got the last 50 right. Sometimes you're going to miss. He was airlifted to a hospital in stable condition. The circus had to be canceled for the night. The ringmaster at Circus Mercia, said luckily he was struck on the side of the neck in a spot with mostly soft tissue and no major blood vessels. There was no blood leaking out. Yeah, she could have shot him in the carotid. They said there was just a little blood around the hole where the arrow went in, kind of like getting your ear pierced. No, I don't think so. He was released from the hospital after the arrow was safely removed. He got a couple of stitches. He said he'll need time to heal before he can resume performing, but I don't know why. Just a couple of stitches. Get back out there with your foam thing. They're requesting privacy for their family. They said safety has always been our top priority, and we would like to emphasize that while this was a tragic accident, it's an isolated incident, and there was and is no danger to the general public and audiences. She needs more practice. The circus returned to its regular schedule of 3 shows a day, minus the crossbow act, in the days following. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they're a married couple, so one wonders if there was a fight at home, but I tend to think that you're gonna miss eventually. He's the one that put himself in front of an arrow, right? Yeah. Pretty good. I only left one story on the table today, and I'll have it tomorrow. I don't have a lotto of the day for you today, but I would like to tell you, for those that partake, that the lottery is growing. As a matter of fact, the next Powerball jackpot is $856 million. So there's that. You know what's annoying though? I was noticing that the cash option, if you won 856 million, the cash estimated cash value, this is even before you pay taxes, is 372 million. It really seems like false advertising to me. 856 million. I do believe that if that's what the sign says, that's what the check should be that for in your hand. But no, 372 million. Would I complain if I were to win 372? I would not. Maybe I would. But that's before taxes. Then you take taxes out. I don't know if I'm going to enough money to give away all the money I want to give away. I'd still like to win it. 856 mil for the Powerball. The next drawing is on Saturday. I love it. All right. Thank you, everyone, for the contributions. Thank you for the time. Thank you for playing along. Thank you for brightening every afternoon. Thank you, Glenn, for the contribution. Thank you, Nullifidian, who throws in a 20. That's nice. Thank you, Heather, for the 10. I appreciate you. Luis coming in with a 5 says, little late start. No prob. You're actually early by the Mark Thompson Show standards. Mahalo for all you do here. All you do, and here's to the next 3 years. Luis, thank you. Mahalo to you. Appreciate that. Really nice. 3 years. That's just the craziest stuff. All right, everybody. Thank you again for playing. I will see you tonight on News That Made You Drink, also known as the Nikki Maduro Show, and it starts at 5 p.m. right here on YouTube, 5 p.m. Pacific. Share it around. We're trying to grow the show and keep it going. It's in danger, and so I want to make sure that we keep it rolling because I really, really love the show. 5 p.m. Pacific tonight, News That Made You Drink, also known as the Nikki Maduro Show, and I'll meet you right back here on YouTube for that in hardly any time at all. For now, bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
That's pretty funny. God, I hope not. Holy cow! Glenn was shot in the shoulder with an arrow at the age of 15. Oh no. A few inches over and it would have hit me in the soft part of the back of my head. It was an accident by his stupid mate. Oh man. Thank God. Thanks, Teacher Lori. That's thanks to you guys. Me too. Think of not knowing each other. We're lucky. Oh, the poop was appropriate then. Hope they have a good day at school. Comparing scars? I might have some on my knees I could maybe rival them with. Not as interesting as yours. Oh, Rev, thank That's so true. Welcome, Doug. Thank you.